should go get some soup. I got some soup waiting for me. I was just thinking. That was probably the weirdest. I mean, I've done some really weird live streams, but I think that might have been the weirdest one where I ate soup for like 3 minutes. That's pretty strange. If you scroll down, you'll see a picture of soup. Um, it then became like a really great live stream. It was one of the ones Sarah was off screen talking to me, and we were discussing stuff. It was a pretty good one. It was just a few weeks ago. Anyway, I'm home. Obviously, it's around 9:30. I think Marguerite's asleep. We've said that before, so I think Marguerite's asleep. We put out about 20 new books today. Um, Already sold out of one. There's a book. There's a manga that uh, I sell a copy of, but I didn't know to who. And a customer came and picked up their hold and grabbed that manga off the shelf for new. So we have 18 books. I have a couple here with me that I'll talk about in a minute. But the reason that we didn't do the live stream from the shop was, and we're going to talk about this more tomorrow, but it is an insane week of new number ones. I think there's about 10, I wouldn't even call them ones, the new Superman storyline, Mark Waid starting in on Superman, starts with a Superboy story, total jump on point. Again, side reel to the movie. The movie's going to obviously have Crypto and Superboy. This is a story that's Crypto and Superboy. Trinity, daughter of Wonder Woman, who was, in my opinion, the best part of Tom King's run on Wonder Woman, not counting the story where she and Batman go shopping. I love that story. That is one of my best uh, issues of that run. And I think the backups, where they talked about Trinity and they showed especially her relationship to John and Damian, I really loved it. So I'm excited that she's getting her own book just for that. I just want John and Damian uh, moments with her. I know there's one in number one. Hopefully it continues throughout the whole thing. Um, Supergirl number two, Marvel Rivals with the Peach Momika story in it. There's tons and tons and tons of number ones. But Tirza came into work again today. So this is like her fourth day or third day coming in and helping, and finished up the signs. The kids' room is now signed up. And it's funny because I was talking to Sarah and telling her that I have to like adjust to Tirza being there because I'm trying to do work, and she's right there and she's talking to me while I'm working. It's my 18-year-old daughter, and it's like I'm not used to it. It's distracting me from my work. And she goes, "Well, like if you don't want her," and I looked at her and I said, again, if you're a regular viewer of this live stream, you know that we have been working on our redesign, rearranging the entire store in a desperate, hopeful, last-ditch effort to actually turn a profit and stay open through this retail apocalypse that we are going through. The final step has been these signs that my good friend Alan Y. Senior, Escape Pod Comics, it's their name, Escape Pod Comics, on Long Island. My friend Alan in China, who's YC Neo, makes these awesome frames, design new, erasable signs for us. This has been a huge thing in the making. And one section of about 8, let's say 10, one of them's not going to get a lot of signs. 10 sections, one section now has signs up. Now has finished signs that delineate basically everything in the shop that isn't, in my opinion, so obvious that you don't even need it. Even the Raina Telgemeier shelf with Gail Galligan and Cassandra Kalin, that's the Raina, says "Smile, Sisters," and similar. It's even that has an explanation, even though they're smiling, they're sisters. All right, I was just told to give my son some insulin. So let's take you with me because I think most of the viewers are new. I don't mind the random background of my house, but I don't want to be off screen. That's the weird thing with YouTube. All right. Here's the controller. Take one unit. All right, 1 unit, buddy. Goodbye. I didn't realize you were still reading. You should get some sleep. All right. We lost those viewers anyway. Anyway, yeah. So I turned to her, and I turned to Sarah again. If you're just joining us, or if you've lost the thread, because I got up and checked on Zinc. I was saying how I was distracted and how I was having trouble doing some of my work because I wasn't used to kids being there. And Sarah said, maybe like, do you want her to come in? And I said, the store looks how I envisioned it 6 months ago. Like, that section is the vision. It's done. Like, that section is done. It is the nicest, most put together. I can picture the shop. Again, I have a platonic shop in my head that I could remake every fixture and, move anything around. And sure, but actual reality in my store with the things we have in my store, it's gorgeous. I'm so happy with it. I'd love to say that I then spent the day just taking pictures. And it was a huge week of single issues. So I spent the afternoon unpacking single issues and dealing with, again, thank God, a lot of people came into the store. A lot of people called the store with questions. A lot of people hung out and checked off issues, looked through things for a while. And I got other things done as well. I reorganized I didn't finish this, but I reorganized a lot of my hold list area. I have a stack of things of people who get one or two issues that were never really put away properly. That need to get put away. That's a much more intensive job. So yeah, we didn't look at all the new books. We do have Isaac, which is a book I'm very excited to read. This is a book that takes place in medieval Europe with the samurai. A European hurt or killed someone in his life. I don't remember the details, and because I haven't read the whole thing yet, and he goes into, I think it's 14th century Europe. He's going to travel across the continents, fight all sorts of Europeans to get the guy. So it's almost like a weird Lone Wolf and Cub. I hope it does a great job doing the historical stuff like Lone Wolf and Cub did. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near that level. But if it's Vinland Saga level, that'll be exciting. And then we have a new edition in softcover for the first time, Frank Miller and John Romita Jr. doing Superman. Now, this is a fascinating book, in my opinion. This book is one of the most unique takes on Superman to come out in the last 10 years. There's definitely Superman stories in the Elseworld era and in the other people's Black Label books, meaning other superheroes' Black Label books. But one, I think John Romita Jr. recovered a lot of the things that he lost as an artist, a lot of stuff that digital took away from him when he started his work at DC, and even a little bit before that. A lot of that, he gets the sauce back here. I think he and Miller really understood the vision they were going for. They were going for, I want to say, an early anime Superman. This is like a late 70s, early 80s anime Superman from where I'm coming from. The same level of his darkness and the weird stuff he goes up against. I do agree with many people who just read the first issue. We're here over at the beginning now with the first issue. That the first issue is very odd and slow. It's got this goth kid who Clark is friends with. It introduces a lot of stuff that's very, very odd and very off the Superman vibe that you're used to getting. But I think that the setup that it provides for the very unique Clark Kent that they bring in, the special ops young soldier Clark Kent, it's a very important to set up the review. And I think it is one of these fascinating books that takes a really completely different approach with Superman while still keeping to the core idea of what makes Superman so great. I think it's something that people are really digging in Absolute Superman. And I think a lot of people missed out on this when it was coming out. It was coming out in 2020, 2021, and then it was a $40 hardcover. It's a little ridiculous, but it's a no $20, nice fat magazine. Really, probably one of the most interesting versions of Superman to come out in the last 5 years for sure. Maybe the last decade. It's not for everyone. A lot of people don't like John Romita Jr.'s old art, his new art. They just don't like him. A lot of people don't like Superman that isn't exactly the way he was in the comics that they used to read. That's not for you, you know. But for others, for people looking for interesting takes, I'm very excited to hear Tirtha's take on this. That's why this is home. I want to hear what she has to say. As I mentioned previously, Tirtha and I will begin towards the middle of June to do a weekly Superman discussion. I was thinking Thursday. She was thinking Sunday. Superman Sundays. You can weigh in here and let us know if you like the idea of Superman Sundays or Superman. I think Thursday gives me really. I know it sounds like it's the same. It's weekly, but Thursday gives me more time to prepare and think about it. Sundays are very crazy days at the shop. So I prefer to do it Thursday. She thinks the alliteration is too important to skip, and we should definitely do Superman Sundays. So let us know what you think. Man of Tomorrow Thursdays. Anyway, yeah, tomorrow we will look at all the new books, all new graphic novels besides these two that came out. All the great single issues. Like I said, so many great single issues coming out. The Marvel Rivals comic looked great. Like, I read the last Marvel Rivals comic. It wasn't that interesting. The new Marvel Rivals comic, anyone is like, what's Marvel Rivals? What's the point of it? Read the comic. It's very good. Great art. Peach Momika wrote one of the stories. But yeah, I'll show this off tomorrow. And maybe, if it's not too busy, if we're not a little too crazy, I will also show off the first, final, finished section of the rearrange. It's done. Like, there is a piece of the story that is in its platonic form. I'm very, very happy about it. Whether it does its job, we will see. Because the kids section is always the toughest, especially with signage, because you have little kids who, they can't read the signage. Or they don't care to read the signage. So we'll see how it goes out. But I've definitely seen parents and even older kids, 8, 9, 10-year-olds, refer to the signs that are there. So it's already making a difference. Whether it makes a sales difference, we'll see. But yeah, definitely we'll look at the new books and the new single issues, unless I'm just crazy busy. It is supposed to be like 80 degrees tomorrow and sunny. So it could just be the store will be full of people, and then, I don't know. But hopefully we'll look at everything, and maybe we'll look at the new section. And then, yeah, weigh in on Superman Sundays, World of Tomorrow Thursdays, which you think would be better for Tirtha and I to sit down and discuss Superman in the lead up to the movie. And lastly, anything? There was something I want to say. Oh, Moolah Mondays, a report about the success of Moolah Mondays. 2 sales yesterday. 2 sales on Monday were made directly because they heard about Moolah Mondays. I had a guy in, and he heard me doing the live stream. He's the one who I logged off because of. He said, that's 20% off this hardcover. And I said, the Dave Stevens Complete Rocketeer, absolutely, 20% off. And I talked about it. I said, how it's going to be back next Monday. And he left. He bought his books. He left. 15 minutes later, he came back, and he said, all right, I'm going to get that 20% off. And then someone else said, I was thinking of getting the new Bethel. You still have signed copies? I said, yes. And it's 20% off because hardcover. I said, yep. I said, okay, I'm going to get it. And they got it. So 2 sales directly from Moolah Mondays. Hopefully, it can exponentially grow as we add more sales to Moolah Mondays. I will say here on the live stream, and actually I said it in that video I made. Next Monday, all hardcovers will be 20% off, and all used books will be buy 2, get 1 free. So, oh, there's the horn. End of the round. Sorry, gotta go. Sorry. I gotta eat my dinner already. All right. Tomorrow, 18 new books, whole slew of single issues. Until then, remember, damn it, babies, you gotta be kind.